Intent there by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have RSN Singh, author, and Achal Malhotra, former diplomat, joining us on the broadcast. I first want to go across to RSN Singh. This is exactly what the people of the country wanted to hear from their leadership. The Prime Minister making it absolutely clear, not just to the enemies, but the entire world. Mitti mein mila denge.
You're asking me?
Yes, Mr. Singh, go ahead.
Could you repeat your question? There was some disturbance, please.
Well, I was just talking about how this is the biggest statement of intent coming in from the Prime Minister, giving a clear and stern warning not just to the terrorists and the enemy nation, but to the entire world when he switched from Hindi to English.
Yes, and he remember he was speaking in Madhubani in Bihar, and he indeed switched over to English with very firm intent and purpose as a platform for messaging to the entire world. He was addressing the entire international community. And ma'am, if I may tell you that yesterday we have unleashed the water weapon, which is even more destructive than a nuclear weapon. Earlier we couldn't do it because we didn't have the geopolitical heft. And remember, we have taken this action when the Vice President of the USA is on the Indian soil. So big thing has happened. It's a very, I'm again repeating, what we have unleashed is more potent than a nuclear weapon, and things are yet to follow. That is what I gather from the PM's speech, and it must. It must. I don't know when I will be able to, whether I'll be able to overcome this grief, things that have happened, the way people have been targeted. We have seen enough insurgencies, we have seen enough proxy wars, but never like this. I can't even use the word beast, it is even worse than that. People of what upbringing, of what grooming, and it is not. Such grooming is first done in your family, then in the country that you belong to, and before that the society. So I mean, we have every right. Not and let me tell you, retribution is not. Please don't. I urge the people, don't use this word retribution. We need to solve this problem once for all and comprehensively, whatever dimension it takes. I know that when you go into the ideological dimensions, there are a lot of people who come out with their own motivated arguments and agendas. I don't care. I don't care at all, because such people have not lost their son on a honeymoon. Just imagine a marriage, a celebration, a honeymoon, and a funeral, just in a matter of 2 days. And as the Prime Minister pointed out, that people from all regions and countries, thinking that it is part of our own country, for the love of Kashmir, for the assurance that things have those black days are matter of past. They went there. We have to restore it. We have to restore it by all means.
Absolutely. It's difficult. I know you're holding back your tears, and it's extremely difficult to do that when you look at these visuals and you have to talk about this. RSN saying, let me quickly also go across to Achal Malhotra. Achal Malhotra, when the governments have to take decisions like these, they have to keep in mind the messaging. They have to keep in mind the sentiments of the people in mind as well. And since surgical strikes have happened in the past, the first option that people think of is surgical strikes, of military action. But this time around, looks like the government thought about a multi-pronged attack that included a decision like suspending the Indus treaty as well, hitting Pakistan where it will hurt the most in the coming days?
Well, of course, first of all, I would join everybody in condemning the act. This is a horrible, and as Prime Minister said, this attack is not on the innocent tourists alone. It is on our Astha, because they were identified by religion. So this was a religion-based target killing, which cannot be tolerated in a country where 80% of the population is of Hindus who were identified and targeted. Now coming to how do we react to it? Obviously, there is a lot of anger in the country, and most of us would like immediate military action. But I think we have a responsible government. Government has to, look into the. It has to do the cost-benefit analysis of its actions, and it has to see, what is ultimately in the interest of the country. I mean, I sitting here in the comfort of my air-conditioned study can't recommend that go for an all-out war. This would have a devastating impact on every aspect of our country, human lives. Many will be killed, many more will be killed. Economy will suffer. There are alternatives to, all-out wars, one-on-one wars. And this time, the government appears to have adopted that kind of an approach. 5 decisions that they have announced, in my opinion, 4 are not going to have much impact. Whether you reduce the size of the mission, it doesn't really matter, because already we don't have, we hardly have any diplomatic interaction with that country. Even if we shut down the embassies, it's not going to make much difference. Shutting down Atari, again, there's a minuscule trade which is going through that border. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Most of the trade is coming through third countries, so that's not going to have an impact. But if we seriously and sincerely implement our decision to stop the flow of water to Pakistan, that is going to have a long-term devastating impact on the economy of Pakistan. It's, they need almost 25% of their GDP comes from the agriculture, which is going to be impacted. About 80% of their rural population lives along the areas of these rivers. Now, technically, I'm not sure whether we are in a position to do that tomorrow or day after tomorrow. The least we can do at this point of time, with whatever little understanding I have of this issue, is that apparently we are not using the water of 3 rivers, the eastern rivers which belong to us.
All right.
And we are letting the water flow into Pakistan. Probably if there is a engineering way to stop it immediately, we should do it. If we want to do it.
And you believe that is going to hurt them the most and have a significant impact. Like I said, certain decisions are taken to keeping in mind the messaging, certain decisions considering the public sentiment on ground as well. RSN Singh and Achal Malhotra, please stay on with us. I'm just taking a very short break. We'll come back and continue our discussion and also get the latest.